very basic knowledge about the astrology, very basics, but then also we'll start it from the basic because I have to take you everybody at the same level, right? In this course, basically, I'll be discussing about what is astrology, what are planets, all the 9 planets, what are houses, what are rashis. उनको एक कंस्ट्रक्ट करके हम लोग कुंडली को कैसे देखते हैं, क्या बात कर सकते हैं, हम लोग उस पर बातें करेंगे कि कैसे कैसे योग बनते हैं, क्या क्या बनता है, राइट? आई एम श्योर यू पीपल कैन रिएक्ट, उसमें रिएक्शन का बटन होगा या ऐसा कुछ भी होगा तो यू कैन सर्टेनली रिएक्ट। आई म्यूटेड यू पीपल व्हाई बिकॉज इट्स अ बिग ग्रुप, तो कहीं ना कहीं कोई ना कोई बीच में बोलेगा एंड इट कैन क्रिएट अ प्रॉब्लम फॉर एनीबॉडी एंड एवरीबॉडी, राइट? तो इस चक्कर में मैंने म्यूट सबको कर रखा है। तो आप लोग अपने आप को अनम्यूट नहीं कर पाएंगे, बट यू कैन सर्टेनली शो दिस रिएक्शन। समबडी यू हैव अ क्वेश्चन, you can raise your hand, then we'll talk about it. The maximum people who can switch on their cameras, it will be good for me for interaction. मेरे लिए अच्छा रहेगा. That will be, I would really appreciate that, right? So now starting up, how many people have very basic knowledge about Jyotish? Good knowledge, less knowledge whatsoever Jyotish? Give me a thumbs up. It'll help me. You know, Ankit knows, Pallavi knows, Nikita knows. Wonderful, wonderful. So for others who are very, very newbie, congratulations, wonderful. And today, when we start about astrology, what we want to discuss it, what you need to understand. Kundli kya hai? What is astrology? How did astrology come into play? Astro Jyotish hoti kya hai? Kangana? हाँ, एस्ट्रोलॉजी होती क्या है, हम लोग एस्ट्रोलॉजी को देखते कैसे हैं, व्हाट इज इट अबाउट, द हिस्ट्री ऑफ एस्ट्रोलॉजी। हम लोग जब बात करते हैं तो कहाँ से निकल के आते हैं। द बेस्ट थिंग, हम लोग जब ज्योतिष की बात करते हैं, व्हाट डज एस्ट्रोलॉजी, ज्योतिष मीन्स अ बेसिक आइडिया इज व्हाट, इट्स द लॉर्ड ऑफ द लाइट। भगवान की जो मतलब कहते हैं लाइट है, वो दिया है, उसको हम लोग ज्योतिष बोलते हैं। ज्योति प्लस ईश इज ज्योतिष, राइट? ज्योतिष बेसिकली हम लोग जब भी बात करते हैं, हम लोग वैदिक एस्ट्रोलॉजी, वैदिक ज्योतिष की बात करते हैं। इट कम्स आउट फ्रॉम वेयर? वेदास इटसेल्फ। हमारे कितने वेदास हैं? Anybody? You have the chat box, you can certainly write down. Let's make it very interesting. अच्छा रहेगा आप लोगों के लिए भी, सबके लिए। मैं लास्ट में माइक खोलूंगा सबके, then we can discuss. अभी इसलिए नहीं खोल रहा, सब बीच में अनम्यूट करके बोलेंगे, इसका कोई रीजन नहीं, राइट? हमारे बेसिकली शास्त्रों में, वेदों के अंदर 4 वेद मेजरली, देयर आर 4 मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट वेदास. What is known as? What are those? What is the mother Veda? That is the Rig Ved. What is another Ved? That is Sam Ved, then Yajur Ved, then Atharva Ved, right? हर वेद का अपने में एक अलग इंपॉर्टेंस थी. Let it be anything, let it be our योग शास्त्र, let it be our स्वर शास्त्र, जो हम लोग जो म्यूजिकल को बोलते हैं, let it be आयुर्वेदा, let it be anything, they are all part of वेद. वेद को और थोड़ा सा इजी रखने के लिए, उसको और इजी करा तो उसको हम लोग उसके छोटे छोटे पार्ट्स को करा तो हम लोग उसको बोलते हैं वेदांग. ज्योतिष एक वेदांग का पार्ट है. वेद, वेदांग एंड देन ज्योतिष. ज्योतिष कम्स एज अ थर्ड, व्हाट यू कॉल दिस, लेयर में आता है. हम लोग जब एस्ट्रोलॉजी की बात करते हैं, ज्योतिष की बात करते हैं, वेदांग हमारे जो लिम्ब रहे, उसके अंदर भी उसका छठा पार्ट जो है वो ज्योतिष है. तो फर्स्ट पार्ट व्हाट इज दैट इज द साइंस ऑफ ग्रामर, annotation, meter, and etymology, rituals, and Jyotish. Astrology, which we talk about. So it is a part of what? Ved, Vedang, and then Jyotish. The 6th part out of the Vedang itself is Jyotish. Again, then Jyotish has its 6 parameters itself. हम जब एस्ट्रोलॉजी की बात करते हैं, एस्ट्रोलॉजी ये नहीं है जो हम बात कर रहे हैं. So now suppose many people are connected with me on one-on-one basis, right? But astrology is not about के हम लोग एक जनरल, जो हम लोग एक व्यक्ति की जातकम देखते हैं, but we see horoscope is, right? It's not about that. It is much, much, much more than that. Astrology is basically divided into 6 parts: Gola, Ganit, Jataka, Prashan, Muhurat, and Nimit. These are the 6 limbs of astrology itself. Gola की बात करते हैं तो you must have heard astronomy, right? NASA every day releases a chart in the morning. How many people know or not? It releases a chart in the morning जिसके अंदर every planet has its movement. Today sun is out there, ऐसे working कर रहा है, इतनी degrees पे है. Okay, coming on the degrees part, this is a very, very important. I'm just taking it as a very basic synopsis. We'll be discussing it more and more about it. Jyotish is what? हम लोग ज्योतिष को कभी भी जब आगे हाउसेस में बात करेंगे, राशिज में बात करेंगे, प्लैनेट्स में बात करेंगे, सो द टेक्निकल टर्मिनोलॉजी व्हेन एस्ट्रोनॉमी प्लेज अ रोल इज डिग्रीज. हाउ डू वी मेजर एनीथिंग? हम लोग वी आर ट्रैवलिंग. आई एम फ्रॉम देहरादून. आई एम ट्रैवलिंग फ्रॉम देहरादून टू दिल्ली. सो इट्स अराउंड 250 किलोमीटर्स, राइट? तो वी हैव दैट 250 किलोमीटर्स. हम लोगों ने एक उसकी एक मेजरमेंट बना रखी है, राइट? उसको आगे मीटर में कर लो, जैसे मर्जी उसको आज छोटे-छोटे करते हो. सेम वेज एस्ट्रोलॉजी के अंदर अगर आपको किसी भी प्लैनेट की मूवमेंट्स देखते हैं या कुछ भी देखते हैं तो हम लोग डिग्रीज में बात करते हैं. Those degrees are typically the mathematical calculation, the astronomical calculation. The reading of astronomical calculations is astrology. How is your planet behaving? What is the planet degrees about? Which house the planet is? Write it down. हम लोग जब हाउसेस की बात करते हैं तो देयर आर 12 हाउसेस इन एस्ट्रोलॉजी. 12 घर, 12 राशियां बोली गई एस्ट्रोलॉजी के अंदर. देयर आर 12 हाउसेस इन टोटलिटी इन एस्ट्रोलॉजी, राइट? Yeah. So everything in astrology is divided into degrees majorly. What is the degree part? So आज मैं बोलूँ in class, so now suppose right now there are 23 people, right, in this. So I'll give a roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Same ways. एस्ट्रोलॉजिकली में वो नंबर आगे वो डिग्री आइडेंटिफिकेशन दे दिया गया कि आप डिग्रीज के साथ उसको वो करोगे, इतनी डिग्रीज में है, कैसे है, आप उसको वैसे उसको फिगर आउट करके आप बात करते हैं. करेक्ट है. सो इन डिग्री मैटर्स एनी प्लैनेट. फॉर दैट हम लोग जब बात करेंगे कौन से हाउस का, कौन से राशि का है, सो एक वो हमारे लिए इजी अप कर दिया गया कि कैसे बोलना है. पर अगर एस्ट्रोनॉमिकली देखा जाता है तो वो डिग्रीज में बात करते हैं. क्या करेंगे हम लोग वो बाद में बात करेंगे, बट ये खाली आप लोगों को एक समझाने की बात करो. द कैलकुलेशनल एरिया ऑफ एस्ट्रोनॉमी व्हाइल रीडिंग इज एस्ट्रोलॉजी. एक मेरे पास एक मैथ का फॉर्मूला है, इट कैन बी एनी फॉर्मूला, राइट? तो मैं उसको पढ़ रहा हूं तो मैं उसको डिकोड कर रहा हूं. दैट इज एस्ट्रोलॉजी, एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल कैलकुलेशन. सन इज एट दिस डिग्री एट दिस प्लेस. That is astronomy, which is out there. NASA releases a chart every morning which says out there. In our shastras, panchang, if you people know, पंडित जी के पास आप लोग अगर मंदिर जाते हैं तो we have that book that पंडित जी sets, right, where he opens that and he checks that every time what is out there, how are the planetary movements. So our panchangs already have those. हमारे में सारी कैलकुलेशन ईयरली हमेशा लिखे जाते हैं, तो एवरीथिंग इज अवेलेबल. सो दैट एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल कैलकुलेशंस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ एस्ट्रोलॉजी. दैट्स व्हाट आई मेंट. द सेकंड इज गणित, एस्ट्रोलॉजिकल कैलकुलेशन, जो उसको और सिंपलाइज कर दिया गया. अभी मैंने बोला नॉर्थ 224, नॉर्थ ऐसे बोला गया, नॉर्थ 224. एक मैंने बोला गलती है वैसे तो, अगर एक नॉर्थ 224 अगर मैंने बोला, सो दैट जब उसको एस्ट्रोलॉजिकल कैलकुलेशन में बोला जाता है तो उसको गणित बोला जाता है. वो ज्योतिष की जो टिपिकली हम लोग जो कैलकुलेशन की बात करते हैं, first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, and then coming up to the Rashi, then coming to the planets. All the combination of these with the nakshatras is known as the Ganit part of the Jyotish. That's the second area. Then comes up the Jataka. Jataka is what? So now suppose you and me are talking on a consultancy and we make a horoscope. We make a horoscope by what today? It's very, very easy. There are other different softwares in market where you can just type in your date of birth, time of birth, and place of birth, and you can calculate your astrological chart, right? इनिशियली जब हम बात करते हैं तो ये हम लोगों को कभी भी ऐसा नहीं आता. तो हमारा जब एस्ट्रोलॉजी की जो एक्चुअल कैलकुलेशंस है, दे आर ऑन ईस्ट काल, फल, हम लोगों को उसकी टर्मिनोलॉजी बिल्कुल डिफरेंट आते हैं. तो उसको हम लोगों ने कन्वर्ट करके, बिकॉज इन टुडेज वर्ल्ड वी हैव टू कन्वर्ट दैट. It may be a very difficult situation and a scenario for us to remember those terminologies, right? So because today what we use is time in 24 hours and 12 hours, हम लोग उसके उसमें यूज करते हैं. सो उसी की कैलकुलेशन, उसी के ज्योग्राफिकल कैलकुलेशन को लेके उसकी एस्ट्रोलॉजिकल कैलकुलेशन के हमारा एक बेसिक चार्ट बनता है. जो थर्ड पार्ट है, व्हाट वी एज एन एस्ट्रोलॉजर रीड एंड वी ट्राई टू प्रेडिक्ट व्हाट आर द स्टार्स सेइंग अबाउट इट. अभी तक कोई कंफ्यूजन किसी को भी? क्लियर? फोर्थ कम्स इज एज अ प्रश्न. प्रश्न का मतलब क्या होता है? Okay, so now suppose Ankit ji was born on X date, X month, and X year, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years back, whatsoever. But today, whenever we are talking, so there is a movement going on, right? कुछ ना कुछ तो चल रहा है ऊपर, आज भी कुछ planetary movements तो चल रहा है जिसको हम बोलते हैं, as आप लोगों ने काफी सुना होगा, साढ़े सती और other different attributes for that matter. So movements are moving. So for an example is 3 days back only, 2 days back only, there was a very hype out there that Jupiter has changed its Rashi from Aries to Taurus. Guru ne Rashi परिवर्तन किया. Every news channel everywhere it was very very common, right? From Aries to Taurus, मेष से वृषभ की तरफ गया. So that transit happening out there, we take up the calculations of that transit and try to predict from that. In that, we do not use any jatakam, we do not use any horoscope for any person, but to see the today's planetary position and try to predict. It's a very advanced methodology for astrologers, but I'm trying to just tell you, uska ek part aata hai, prashan kundli bola tha, horary astrology, what is called. So that is very very important again as out there. Fifth is Muhurta. Now that is very very important. अब जब कभी भी आप लोगों ने गए होगे, you must have gone to पंडित जी मुहूर्त निकाल दीजिएगा, शादी का मुहूर्त निकाल दीजिएगा, we need to buy a new car और शादी और क्या कहते हैं house warming party or something like that. So that is Muhurta. That is typically again on the planetary positions, but it just justified in some yogas out there and we try to predict from that. कि भी एक डेट सेट ऑफ डेट्स आती हैं कि इस टाइम पे ये अच्छा है, उसका एक अलग अलग पैरामीटर्स. आई एम नॉट गेटिंग इनटू दैट. There are very different parameters to it, how to calculate a muhurat and all, but they are very simplified in our panchang. Anybody who knows panchang, how to take that, if you just open that panchang, everything is mentioned out there. So when next time when Pandit ji does that and takes 5-4 minutes, it's not a 5-4 minute job, just a 1 minute job. He just tries to create his importance out there, nothing more than that. So in panchang, everything is written. So this is your shadi ka muhurat, this is the muhurat for car or renovation or whatever. So everything is mentioned out there in the muhuratas, right? The last comes up nimitted electional astrology. जब हम जिसको निमित्त की बात करते हैं, today our maximum astrologers do not use that by any means for a very simple reason कि that is an astrology which is responsible and taught for anything and everything, to calculate anything and everything by the nakshatras. So what does it typically mean is मैदिनी ज्योतिष मुंडेन में कि प्याज महंगा होगा कि नहीं होगा, आलू महंगा होगा. That was again an astrology. So people do not prefer that astrology now, and it has gone very very. So now suppose if there are 100 astrologers in the world, hardly one person knows about it. Hardly one person. So Medini Jyotish mundane जिसको बोला गया, it is not that very very common today. So it was always seen to predict by the nakshatras and the stars and the planets कि उसको आप क्या निकाल सकते हो, उसमें आपको वो क्या hint out दे रहा है आपको करते हो. Because every planet has a responsibility for anything and everything. So for an example, हम लोग शनि की बात करते हैं. It's a very common thing. That's the reason I'm taking that. Saturn, right? Saturn is what हम लोग शनि का दान कभी करते तो किसका करते हैं? Sesame oil. What in Hindi is called as सरसों का तेल, right? So sesame oil is typically connected with Shani, Saturn. So by those calculation in general, we calculate that कि आज इस टाइम पे सरसों का तेल हाई जाएगा कि नहीं जाएगा. That was just one thing. There are 200 things like that. Onion, garlic, Rahu, Ketu. So we always see other planets for other things. So that is one thing which I'm telling you now. Hardly 1%. 1% is too high. Hardly 0.01% astrologers know today about Medini Jyotish, and nobody wants to do about it because nobody comes and asks you कि प्याज महंगा जाएगा या क्या जाएगा. Nobody comes out for that matter, right? So that is one out of the question, out of the syllabus itself, that people want to connect over these things or not. हम जब एस्ट्रोलॉजी की टिपिकल बात करते हैं, दिस वाज द 6 limbs of astrology, right? हम जब एस्ट्रोलॉजी की टिपिकल बात करते हैं, so majorly astrology when plays a role is about marriage, people calculation of your events, right, from the horoscope itself. How are the events calculated? समझने हैं इसको. एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ, उस एग्जांपल के बाकी सारी चीजें जोड़ दूंगा. मैंने चिट्ठी लिखी किसी को भी. I have written a letter to somebody, right? So what will be the process? I am writing a letter and then I have to post it in the speed post or I have to post it anywhere else. कहीं पे भी मैं जाके उसको डाल के आऊँ चिट्ठी को. वो वहाँ पे चिट्ठी डली, सब कुछ स्टैम्प हो गया, वो चिट्ठी गई, स्पीड मास्टर के पास गई, उसने अपने पास रिसीव करी, and third step is he will be able to deliver that. In astrology, how does it happen is there is something called yoga in your horoscope. जो मैं टर्मिनोलॉजी बोल रहा हूँ, जस्ट ट्राई टू राइट इट डाउन, ट्राई टू ग्रास्प इन योर माइंड. हम लोग इस पे बहुत ज्यादा डिस्कशंस करेंगे बाद में. देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड योगा इन योर हॉरोस्कोप. Yoga for marriage, yoga for education, yoga for children, yoga for foreign, yoga for XYZ, anything and everything. That yoga gets fructified in the time of its dasha. What is dasha? Dasha is the moments of the planets in your personal horoscope के आज क्या चल रहा है, मंगल की दशा है, राहु की दशा है, चंद्र की दशा है, XYZ or whatever. And then that plays a transit very very important role. Transit what today's planetary positions in your horoscope. जैसे मैंने भी बोला था, I give an example. Jupiter's role क्या प्ले करा कि भाई जुपिटर चेंज इट्स राशि फ्रॉम एरीज टू टॉरस, मेष टू वृषभ 3 days बैक फॉर 1 year आउट देयर. सो दैट इज अगेन अ कैलकुलेशन आउट देयर. हम लोग जब भी किसी कुंडली की बात करते हैं, जब हम कुंडली के और थोड़ा सा पीछे जाते हैं, तो द फादर ऑफ एस्ट्रोलॉजी टिपिकली व्हेन वी सी इज नोन एज भृगु, महर्षि भृगु. Bhrigu was the one who wrote the first time, who took up all the calculations, and parallelly Parashar, Maharishi Parashar was another one who did all the calculations and wrote down a book which was called Brihad Parashar Hora Shastra. BPHS, Brihad Parashar Hora Shastra, is the typically considered as a Bible of astrological, well, for Vedic astrology. Any astrological field is anywhere and everywhere connected from Brihad Parashar Hora Shastra. बहुत मोटी बुक आती है उसकी. Every shloka is written out there. It talks about anything and everything in that, right? So BPHS, in it's short from Brihad Parashar Hora Shastra. That is one book. If you want to people buy, you can certainly buy that. By time understanding the language, you will be able to decode it very very well. Else, I'll always be here to help you out. Don't worry about it. Second, when we talk about Maharishi Bhrigu, तो Maharishi Bhrigu का एक book रहा Brihad Samhita. Bhrigu Samhita, sorry, Bhrigu Samhita. So Bhrigu Samhita is another book which was with Maharishi Bhrigu. He wrote on all the timing of events, how to predict from any planet and every planet by their year age. So these are something very very advanced. I'm just giving you a very synopsis out there. Astrology होता क्या है? Astrology is nothing. Astrology is the calculation of your house, rashis and planets, and trying to decode them and getting to a result. Anything of that matters is always known as astrology. Going further in Jyotish, so you will see there are screen sharing. Is my screen visible? Screen visible hai? Yes, no? Yes, it's visible. So when we talk about Jyotish, so we see this diamond kind of a chart all the time. Majorly North Indians, we use this kind of an astrological area. I'll be using this only. In South, basically we use like this. What is the difference? I'll tell you that, but basically I have made it a bit wrong, but yes, something like this only. So this is called the North Indian. This is used in the South India, typically. What is the difference out of it? Both of them is, I'll try to explain you that. In the North Indian area where I've written NI, this is called the houses. So now please write it down. There are 3 terminologies to it. Houses. Make this horoscope, please. This kind of a thing. Make this chart. And Rashis. Just write these things right. Houses and Rashis. You people carrying your copies, right? Yes, no? Yes. Shall I start? Okay. In the North Indian area, understand is what I'm trying to say. Houses are fixed. What are houses? This is always known as the first house. Please write it down. This is the second house. This is the third house. What are the houses talking about? I'm not talking about this today. Just in basics. This is the fourth house. This is the fifth house. Sixth. Seventh. 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. Written. So what does it say? It's you people have written, right? Houses. In houses, typically, what does it mean is कि आप एक planet को, एक राशि को कैसे behave करते हैं, कैसे कैसे उसके साथ attributed रखते हैं चीजों को. That is the typical relation for the houses. Houses in North Indian chart is always fixed. Write it down. This is very, very important line. Houses are always fixed. Rashis are movable. Houses are always fixed. Rashis are always movable. Just write this down. What does this mean? In astrology, especially in the northern area, whenever we talk about houses, it will be fixed up. For you, me, Adarsh, Ankit, Bhagya, Om, Damodar, Ekta, Harika, for everybody, first house is this only, where I've written first. For everybody, the 10th house is where I've written 10th, where for everybody, 11th is 11th, 12th is 12th. It cannot be changed in any circumstances. If I'm typically saying, so for an example, Om, I say, where is the 5th house? It's written out here. But it should be typically in your mind कि यार 5th house की बात कर रहे हैं तो वो नीचे वाला left side वाला है. Correct है. It cannot be changed somewhere कि मैं 5th house है तो वो move करेगा नहीं. 5th house is 5th house. Houses in the North Indian chart are always fixed. In South Indian, houses are not fixed, Rashis are fixed. So I would not be discussing about South Indian anyway because I do not practice in the South Indian chart, I practice in the North Indian chart. So I will just talking about the North Indian chart. In North Indian chart, houses are always fixed. Rashis are movable. For an example, somebody who has seen their horoscope somewhere, kabhi dekha hoga. So you will see where this first is written. There may be any number written out here from 1 to 12, any number. This is the reason I've written out in Roman. Here, any number can be written out there. I want you people from next time, there is an app called Astrosage. 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 Kindly download it in your Android or Apple. It's available everywhere. Astrosage. Very basics. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you what to do about it. But just write it on Astrosage and search it on the App Store or Play Store. You will be able to find it out. So what did I say? आपकी कुंडली के अंदर houses are always fixed. Rashis are always movable. North Indian chart, diamond chart, you will see different houses, different attributes coming out there. उसका मतलब नहीं बात आ रहा, आज मैं पहला दिन है, आप लोग बहुत मिक्स हो जाएगा, बहुत ज्यादा हाई हो जाएगा, मैं भी नहीं बताऊंगा उसके बारे में, कुछ भी नहीं बोलूंगा, बट मैं खाली समझाने की बात कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है ना? I'll repeat again. I may be repeating. Some people who know it, they may find it very bad about it, but people who do not know it, I'm talking to them, right? Houses are always fixed. जो मर्जी हो जाए. Houses can never be changed. If I'm talking about the 10th house, it is the 10th house. For you people, make a chart where houses are always fixed out there. हर house के attribute होता है. We'll discuss about that later. Rashis, whenever say, what are Rashis? There are 12 Rashis. Starting from Aries, then second is Taurus, third is Gemini, fourth is Cancer, fifth is Leo, sixth is Virgo, seventh is Libra, eighth is Scorpio, ninth is Sagittarius, 10th is Capricorn, 11th is Aquarius and 12th is Pisces. हिंदी में बोलते हैं मेष, वृष, मिथुन, कर्क, सिंह, कन्या, तुला, वृश्चिक, धनु, मकर, कुंभ एंड मीन. राइट? ऐसे उसको यही इनको हिंदी के नेम में इंग्लिश नेम आई टोल्ड यू. तो एवरी हॉरोस्कोप, सो फॉर एग्जांपल टुडे वी जस्ट स्पोकन अबाउट टू थिंग्स, हाउसेस एंड राशिस. Every horoscope is unique for that matters. Every horoscope has fixed houses, but different rashis can be placed out there. 12 rashis can be placing out anywhere and everywhere. कहीं पर भी. Got my point? I'm trying to say yes or no. Stop screen. Okay. समझ आया? मैं बार-बार रिपीट सिर्फ इसलिए कर रहा हूँ कि आप लोगों के दिमाग सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में घुस जाएगा. Houses are fixed, houses are fixed, houses are fixed. Rashis can be movable. So now, next time if you, so when you download this Astro Sage, what will it ask? Astrology के अंदर सिर्फ वो वो तीन चीजें पूछता है. नाम तो मैंडेट है, नाम तो लिखना, because to save it out there, it always asks for your date of birth. Second, it asks for your time of birth, and third, it asks for your place of birth. So, for an example, Om and I can have a same date of birth here. It can be same, right? But the place of birth, I may be born in Delhi, he may be born in US. It's very different, right? So that astrological chart changes. मैंने क्या बोला था सबसे पहला, degrees plays a very important role. The geographical area plays a very important role. In India, we do not understand the geographical area for a very simple reason. Why? Because we have a fixed time zone. We have just one time zone. Ask the Americans, they know it very well. There are 6 time zones in US, right? So they need to calculate it and then take it further. Today, the softwares have made it very easy to calculate things. But हमेशा एक problematic हिंदुस्तान को तो बोला गया ना, हमारे बड़े अच्छा मजाक बोलते हैं. मैंने सोचा I have to go to Chennai, and so suppose India has 2-3 time zones. So I'll say I've come out there. What is the time out there? So I'll see that Chennai time zone. मैं बोलूँगा यार मैं तो दिल्ली के time zone से बात कर रहा हूँ. तो हिंदुस्तान में तो पहले ही भागने की पूरी तैयारियां हैं सारी की सारी, right? But it was always said, why time zones important? Because India, we do not follow it. That's one thing we should be doing it. But why time zones are important? India, what is the 0 area in India where we take the center of India? Allahabad, Prayagraj, what we call today. दोपहर के 12 बजे आप कभी भी, if you are at Prayagraj sitting out there, somebody from Prayagraj can confirm me that if they see the sun, it is typically on the above. 12 बजे डायरेक्ट ऊपर सर पे होता है. But somebody from the northeastern area, somebody from Assam, at the 12, they won't see that sun typically out there. They may see the sun more towards south or southwest area. The sun will be moving out there. In the southern area, it is very different because the time zone is not playing a very important role. इसलिए northeast की mornings जो है वो थोड़ी जल्दी होती है compared to the rest part of the India. Ever see that? Let it be Seven Sister States, or let it be Calcutta, or let it be Odisha for that matter, they see the morning a bit early compared to Delhi or UP kind of result. मतलब जब 15 मिनट 20 मिनट का डिफरेंस, ज्यादा डिफरेंस ऐसा नहीं है कि 2 घंटे का डिफरेंस है, 10-15-20 मिनट का डिफरेंस है, but it's always a difference. Talk to them in the morning 6 a.m. So you will say our sun is just able to rise, and they'll say our sun is at the top itself. You will talk that way, right? It's always a different out there. So in astrology, 3 things are important: date of birth, time of birth, and place of birth. When we talk about name, that typically is entering into the numerological area for that matters. Numerology भी हमारे astrological शास्त्रों में से निकली गई, जो वैदिक numerology है typically. What we practice today is a Western numerology. It has been converted from our shastras only. But in our shastras, the numerology was very different because there was no date of birth. If you people know, they were paksh and they were tithis for that matters. Durga Ashtami, Ram Navami, Ekadashi. Ekadashi is the 11th day. Ashtami is the 8th day. Ram Navami is the 9th day. So I was always a Tithi-based calendar when we talk about, and the Tithi-based were also calculated in two areas, Krishna Paksh and Shukla Paksh. Krishna Paksh, when ends, it ends with the Mahavasya, and Shukla Paksh, which ends, it ends with the Purnima. So right now we had a Purnima, right? It was a week back, not week back, 9 days back now, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a Purnima. Now that we are reaching towards the Amavasya. Moon, that's the reason it is always said moon is somewhere which changes its shape and place every now and then. We every day in the evening, whenever we see moon, we always see a very different moon. बिल्कुल different Chandra दिखता है, कभी भी same Chandra नहीं दिखता. So in astrology, write it down. Moon plays a very important role for your mind and areas. That's the reason people, when we speak to astrologers, और जो बोलते हैं कि आपका चंद्र weak है, moon is a bit weak. How moon is weak? How is that? We'll talk about that later. Don't worry about it. But just write it down. It just came into the part, and that's the reason I'm just telling you. So moon plays a very important role कि आपको देखने के लिए कि आपका mood swings का area कैसा था. Whenever we have that मूड स्विंग्स दैट क्या बोलेंगे उसको, साइकिल चलता है जो टिपिकल मूड स्विंग्स का, तो दैट इज टिपिकली फ्रॉम योर चंद्र. व्हाई चंद्र? चंद्र इज, हाउ डू वी सी चंद्र, राइट? Since last week when we saw Chandra, it was a full moon, a full strong moon. Today when we are seeing moon, it's a half moon. After next week we'll see a moon, it is a zero moon. We won't see a moon. Amavasya. Then it's again starts a cycle from Amavasya to Purnima as it goes from crescent moon and everything. Right? Abhi tak, I'm sure, I hope you people are understanding what I'm trying to say. If anybody has a problem, not able to understand, it's going from bouncer, so please pause me. Not an issue. I'll try to explain you. Okay. Nakshatras plays a very important. Nakshatras again, so just talking about Bhagya asked, any significant nakshatra in Kundali? Certainly yes. So nakshatra is what? Nakshatra is the more subdivision of the moon itself or subdivision of the planets itself. Nakshatra is not being covered in this course anywhere. Sir, Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha. I'll just come to it, Ankit. So nakshatra जब मैं बात कर रहे थे, तो nakshatra is what? Any planet is divided into different parts again. तो हम लोग सब की बात करते हैं ना, और तोड़ना है थोड़ा सा. मैंने मैगी बनाया, मैगी के अंदर क्या डालते हैं? हाउ कम मैगी टुडे, आई डोंट नो. ओके, मैगी के अंदर क्या डालते हैं? वो मैगी लिया, उसके मसाला डाला और साथ में साथ वेजिटेबल डाल के कुछ भी होता है. तो जितना और डिवीजन करते जाओगे, वो नक्षत्र लेवल पे आता जाए. नक्षत्र लेवल पे आता है. इन शास्त्रास आल्सो नक्षत्र प्लेज अ वेरी important role. There are two attributes to nakshatra. When we see at the open level, so what is the lord of the nakshatra? We see that and we try to predict how the planet is evolving. Other is said, which is in the nakshatra samhita, what it says is typically every nakshatra, every planet in any nakshatra has its own attributes. Good pause. It's just a general prediction. एक planet, एक nakshatra के अंदर, कोई भी planet, pick up Mangal in any nakshatra, XYZ any nakshatra, Hasta nakshatra, Ardhra nakshatra, whatsoever, has its own attributes for that. It is not for the timing of events, it has its own attributes. कि वो एक व्यक्ति ऐसा होगा, right? So that is again for an attribution area कि जहाँ पर वो बताता है कि एक practically ऐसे रहते. Yes, but nakshatra plays a very important role for that. Sir, Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha. Krishna Paksha is what, sir? Krishna Paksha is from, Krishna Paksha ends at the Amavasya, the zero new moon, and Shukla Paksha ends at Purnima. तो शुक्ल पक्ष जब शुरू होता है, शुक्ल पक्ष तब शुरू होता है सर जब अमावस्या जिस दिन रात होती है उसके अगले दिन से शुक्ल पक्ष शुरू होता है, और जिस दिन पूर्णिमा पूरी होती है उसके अगले दिन से अमावस्या शुरू. राइट? I'll try to explain. So right, this is Purnima, this is Amavasya. The time frame from Purnima night, from next day night to Amavasya is known as Krishna Paksh, जिसको हम लोग अंधेरा पक्ष भी बोल देते हैं, जिसको और क्या बोलते हैं, अंधेरा ही सुना, मेरे और भी बड़े सारे नाम होते हैं वैसे तो. एंड द टाइम फ्रॉम अमावस्या, जीरो मून, टू पूर्णिमा इज नोन एज शुक्ल पक्ष, which is always also known as चांदनी पक्ष, चांदा जिसको बोलते हैं, रोशनी वाला. So because at the end of the Purnima, it's always the brighter side, right? So this is the typical calculation to it. Got it? Yes, no, maybe. ज्योतिष में अभी तक हम लोगों ने बड़ा बेसिक बोला. क्या बोला? हमारे पास हाउसेस होता है, हमारे पास राशिज होता है. We have houses, we have rashis, right? The most important thing is, the most ingredient thing is the planets, the 9 planets. What are those 9 planets? Surya, Sun, Chandra, Moon, Mangal, Mars, Mercury, Budh, गुरु, जुपिटर या बृहस्पति भी बोलते हैं उसको, शुक्र, वीनस, शनि, सैटर्न, राहु एंड केतु. Rahu is also known as the north node, Ketu is known as the south node. राहु केतु अलग अलग, एक ही बंदा है, अलग अलग है, इसका सर है और धड़ है नीचे, धड़ मतलब बॉडी है नीचे। तो ये 9 प्लैनेट्स नवग्रह की बात करी जाती है जब भी बात करते हैं ज्योतिष के अंदर। एनी हॉरोस्कोप हैज टू हैव houses, rashis and planets placed around anywhere and everywhere. That makes up that summary of the horoscope itself. That is where the calculation starts from the astrological. कौन से हाउस में, एग्जाम्पल ले रहा हूँ, कौन से हाउस में, फर्स्ट हाउस में। फर्स्ट हाउस का है, जहां से हम लोग शुरू करते हैं, फर्स्ट हाउस में कोई भी XYZ राशि हो सकती है। कौन सी भी राशि ले लेते हैं, सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल लियो राशि हो सकती है, लियो राशि हो सकती है, तो लियो राशि लिया। और कोई भी प्लैनेट हो भी सकता है या नहीं भी हो सकता है, अलग अलग उसका मतलब। 9 ही प्लैनेट्स और 12 हाउसेस है, तो जरूरी नहीं है कि हर हाउस को कोई ना कोई प्लैनेट। गॉट द पॉइंट? बाउंसर हो रहा है? पीपल हु कैन नॉट अंडरस्टैंड प्लीज। I've opened up the mics. Anybody has a question, you can certainly please ask me. You can unmute and ask me, please. Shivalli, you are in US or US also? Background से again the green.
जी
Background फिर green है, मेरे को लगा ओडिशा में। Any question? You understood or no? Okay.
एक बार ये राशि और ये 9 और ये 12 का थोड़ा सा समझा दीजिए। 9 प्लैनेट्स 12।
मैंने क्या बोला भैया? मैंने बोला ये हाउसेस क्लियर है। एक और उसको please unmute. Please mute. I'm sorry. Houses are fixed. Rashis are
मूवेबल।
moving. So if you open up a horoscope now, whenever at post this class, whenever you open a horoscope, you will see somebody has 1 out here, somebody has 2 out here, somebody has 3 out here, somebody has 4 out here, 5 or whatsoever number written on it. So whenever any number is out here, the other number start. So for an example, I'll take a very hypothetical situation for that matrix. Seven is written out here. 7 is written where? In the first house. This is the second house. So after 7, what will come out here? 8. This is as simple as that. जो नंबर जहां पे फर्स्ट में लिखा होगा उसके बाद से शुरू होगा। क्लियर है?
ओके
ओके। थर्ड हाउस, फोर्थ हाउस, फिफ्थ हाउस, सिक्स्थ हाउस। सिक्स्थ में क्या आ गया? 12 आ गया। फिर 12 का 13 नहीं आएगा, वो 1 आएगा। एंड देन वी गो लाइक दिस।
ओके सर।
ऑलराइट। सो व्हाट डिड आई से? एग्जांपल लेता हूं। ओम, व्हाट डज माय फर्स्ट हाउस हैव रिटन आउट हियर?
7।
7। तो 7 का मतलब क्या हुआ भाई?
केतु।
हाँ, केतु। न्यूमरोलॉजी नहीं कर रहे?
ओह,
न्यूमरोलॉजी से अभी बाहर निकला।
7।
1 to 9 अलग है। वहां पे 12 10 कितना होता है ना? तो 7 होता है लिब्रा, तुला। बस इतना याद रखो। लिब्रा, तुला, बस।
ओके सर, ओके।
न्यूमरोलॉजी थोड़ी देर के लिए, there are many numerologists out there. My request,
ओके सर।
न्यूमरोलॉजी आज साइड में रखेंगे, तब बात। यहाँ पर 4 राहु नहीं है, यहाँ पर 4 मून है, राहु नहीं है। So don't worry about it. Don't get confused with that. All right? Okay. So Tula, simple. And for right now, just understand this. So everybody can have this Tula. Somebody can have any other number. So you will see that order going like this only. How? This, 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 and this. See this. First house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, sixth house, seventh house, eighth house, ninth house, 10th house, 11th house. करेक्ट है?
जी।
अभी तक कोई दिक्कत?
तो
आगे
ये कितने कितने टाइम में मूव होता रहता है, सालों में मूव होता है या
एक समझो, बड़ी अच्छी बात है। आप पैदा हुए
जी।
तो क्या करा, हमने ऊपर फोटो खींची प्लैनेट्स की,
ओके
वो फोटो मैंने नीचे लगा दी, वो फोटो नीचे रख दी मैंने।
जी।
तो मैंने क्या बोला, एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल कैलकुलेशंस घूमती हैं ऊपर, प्लैनेट घूमता है, तो मैंने वो फोटो खींच ली एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल कैलकुलेशंस की, वो मैंने नीचे लगा दी। क्लियर है? अब वो नीचे कैसी लगाई, एक मेथोडोलॉजी होनी चाहिए ना लगाने की, तो ये मेथोडोलॉजी ही है। एक हमारी राशि बनेगी, फिर इसके अंदर डिफरेंट डिफरेंट प्लैनेट्स आएंगे, अलग अलग घूम रहे होंगे। सिंपल है। जब आप पैदा हो गए, आपकी कुंडली जिंदगी में कभी चेंज नहीं हो सकती, जीने से मरने तक यही कुंडली।
हम्म,
एवरी दैट्स द रीजन इट इज सेड एवरी हॉरोस्कोप इज यूनिक, इट कैन नॉट बी चेंज्ड, इट इज एज सिंपल एज दैट। चेंज नहीं होगा, वो फिक्स्ड है, वो कभी चेंज नहीं होगा। आपकी कुंडली यही है और यही रहेगी जिंदगी भर, जो भी है, मतलब ये मतलब जो भी है वो वही रहेगी जिंदगी भर, वो चेंज नहीं हो सकती। देश काल परिस्थिति, इट इज आउट सिंपल एज दैट। समझ आ गया?
जी।
वंडरफुल। somebody else has any question like this, please ask me.
तो ये अगर राशि मूव मूव होता है तो कितने टाइम में मूव होता है, ऐसा कुछ फिक्स टाइम होता है?
एक अभी आएंगे उसके ऊपर, अभी के लिए
ओके
क्या है बस,
ओके, जरूर जरूर।
योर राशि, वो फोटो खींच के मैंने लगा दिया ना,
ओके सर, ओके ओके
फिक्स हो गया वो ये दीवार लग गई यहाँ पर, अब वो दीवार नहीं हिल रही कहीं पर भी।
ओके ओके सर, ओके
अब वो कुछ भी हो सकता है ना, 1 to 12 कुछ भी हो सकता है, वो
ओके
फिक्स है, आप में चेंज नहीं होगा, वो जिंदगी भर वही रहे।
ओके।
ठीक है ना? Anybody has similar query, question? You didn't understand? Yes, Bhagya.
I have a couple of questions. One is about the south and north kundli. Okay, the pattern is different, and rashis are fixed in south, rashis are movable in north. So, as you mentioned, kundlis are based on your date, time, place, right? So, how it will be different for south and north then?
No, it's not
Which
different.
would be the
It's just the methodology, how we make it's different. The reading
okay.
part is as same as, it is the reading part is same.
Okay, okay. So if I make a kundli for, say, for example, over our session over completion, I make a kundli for South person who is South Indian and North Indian. The things or the calculation and all these things will remain same. Only method is different, right?
Only the drawing is different. Rest everything is same.
Okay, okay. Rest everything is same.
You have you have 9 planets, 12 rashis, 12 houses there. In there, houses move, rashis are fixed.
Okay,
Not
okay.
rashis move, houses are fixed. The reason
Houses.
I say because many of them, अगर मैं बोल देता ना, वो थोड़ा सा confusion create करता है, और that's the only reason I can say that. So people from south understand what did Bhagavan say, and I try to comply that. What did I say in the north chart? That diamond chart what I made, I said houses are fixed, first house, second house, third house, fourth house.
Hmm.
And the Rashis move. As I said, Tula Rashi or Vrishchik Rashi, whatsoever. In south it is opposite. It was a square chart. So I made a square chart, right? And in that, Rashis are fixed. First Rashi, second Rashi, third Rashi, fourth Rashi are fixed. Houses keep moving out. So basically, which is just one. The drawing is different. From diamond to square, the drawing is just different. Rest the calculation, everything is typically same. Everything is same. How do we read the chart in the north? How do we read it in the south is typically same. That's not a problem.
Okay, okay. Understood.
Right?
The second question is um, for as all of us are very basic level of this, and we are trying to learn this. So, what are the other than Rashis and Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha? Other than that, what other things we have to know to start with?
So what I do is while going in the class itself, I'll be talking about many things. Many things. It was just an introduction today. So
Yeah.
Shukla Paksha will be somewhere where I may not be even talking about it anywhere. Next class, I'm just talking about houses. What are the houses? And what are
Okay.
the large out there? And what are the planets? I'll be talking about those areas. So Shukla Paksha, Krishna Paksha is basically for the calculation part.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody born on the Purnima, anybody born on the Amavasya, for that matter, it just seems like that. But
Okay.
it doesn't have astrological area, it is just the significance out of that person, out of the nature of that person. Rest, Whenever we see timing of events, will my work happen or not? Will I get a job or not? Marriage happening or not? Child happening or not? That is from the horoscope. Tithi and all does not have a major has a major significance, but in astrological area, in the chart area, we don't mention Tithis. It's from
Okay,
the
yes.
we do not mention that.
Okay, okay. And I have seen my Kundli long back when I born. That time it was prepared, and there are so many such tables, right? What we have north chart. So likewise, multiple charts are there. So are we covering those?
Every person has approximately 50 plus charts.
50 plus. Okay.
So what happens is, what we majorly see is 90%, everybody sees that only. We see is the D1 chart, which is called the divisional chart, divisional first chart, which is called the birth chart. What we were just talking about, right? Very Kundli, what is my horoscope? Then after that, there are slices to it. When I divide those areas, slices to it. कि मैं एक कुंडली को कैसे कैसे divide करता हूँ. When I divide, there is one the most important horoscope after D1. This is the D1 what I'm talking about right now. Everybody after D1, the most important chart is D9, Navamsha, what we talk about. Navamsha. Shastra says, as we see D1, we see D9 for the same. Navamsha horoscope. D9 is a technical area, Navamsha. Navamsha is the ninth part. When we slice the horoscope into 9 areas, Navamsha is turned about.
Okay.
After I said, if D1 is the body, horoscope is the body, Kundli is the body, Navamsha is the soul. If D1 is the tree, Navamsha is the fruit.
Okay.
The calculation of Navamsha is very different. Very, very different. We may not be, I will just give you a very synopsis of the Navamsha, how to see that and everything. But yes, because that's not the part. It's just basic. This classes are just at a very basic level. Houses, Rashis, and that's division charts are not the part of it. But I'll just talk about the division charts. You people having an idea synopsis of it. What is that? You may not go blank somewhere.
Okay. Thank you. That's
Sir, birth chart is equal to Lagna Kundli, right?
तो कहाँ से आ रही है आवाज? मुझे क्यों नहीं दिख रहा?
Sorry?
Oh yes, हाँ प्रतीक. Birth chart is equal to Lagna Kundli. Correct.
Okay, okay, all right.
I was searching for you. You were on another screen. I was searching for you. You were saying.
Okay, okay.
Birth chart is Lagna Kundli. It's the same area. What is Lagna? The first house, where I mentioned the Roman first, that is known as Lagna. Good, write it down. First house is always known as Lagna. In English, it is called ascendant. 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 थोड़ा ज्यादा हो गया पहले डे के लिए. मैंने भी नहीं सोचा था कि मैं इतना बोलूंगा. But then also, it's okay. लॉजिक इसको ऐसे समझना. कुंडली जब बनता है, ऊपर क्लिक करा, नीचे फोटो लगा दी, वो आपकी हॉरोस्कोप बन गया. Typically understanding is that you see that area where the planets were at that time when you were born, and we calculate that and we see that. Simple. So now your homework is, you people need to make how to make it. I'll tell you that. I don't know whose horoscope I'm opening. I don't know about that. Nisha, you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
ज्योति भी सीखना है.
हाँ.
I shared a horoscope photo in the group. So what does it mean is, there is nothing to decode right now. So मैंने क्या बोला? 12 houses. See, if you can, people open up your WhatsApp, please open. Avoid Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus out there because that's default, they say. But we in an astrology, Western takes that. We do not take that in here. So what does it say? It typically says the first house is what? 12 number written out there. People open. Have you opened? Yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we are opened.
What is the first house written as? First house written as what? 12 number. Score अच्छा बनाओ, थोड़ा अच्छा color डालो.
Yes, 12 number.
12 number, right? So
Yes.
house starts with 12. Mean Rashi, mean Lagna. Lagna Kundli. Somebody asked me Lagna Kundli. Right? Second house is what? 1. Third house is what? 2. What is happening? Rashi's houses are fixed. First house has what Rashi? First house has
Mean.
Pisces, mean Rashi. Right?
Yes.
Like this, just make your horoscope, make your family's horoscope, and keep it. Simple. That is the only homework for you people. Make more and more and more of the horoscopes. What does horoscopes mean? Please do not bother about it. You may be reading internet anywhere and everywhere. I cannot stop you. But when I'm in the class, I have my own thought processes, my own school of thoughts. I'll be talking about those only. You have read something online and it doesn't fit with my theory and astrological area, I would not answer those. I would not even recommend those and I would not even take those. Right? So, but I'm very, very clear about it. Okay? That may create confusion for other people. I would not ever take that. Clear? Na.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
We'll pause for the day. The first day, I just wanted to give an introduction. If we started a bit, I'll just pause for the day. I hope you liked the class. This is how we're going from the first house to the 12th house to first Rashi to the 12th Rashi from all the 9th house. And synchronizing them and talking about it कि अगर पहले हाउस में कोई राशि को प्लैनेट उसका क्या मतलब होता है 12th हाउस में क्या मतलब होता है we'll talk about that. Don't worry about it. My hand holding will be there for you. All right? I'll try to simplify it so much कि आप लोगों को easy रहे. भाग्या, both are do same person. भाग्या और other है different.
Different, sir.
Huh?
Different, sir.
Different. Both of the names are same together itself. I put same or other. Okay. Okay. Any questions for today?
So what is the homework you given, sir?
मैंने होमवर्क किया अपनी फैमिली में, मतलब हस्बैंड, भाई, बच्चे, मम्मा, पापा, सबकी कुंडलियां बनानी और कुछ भी नहीं करना उस एस्ट्रो स्टेज में. एस्ट्रो स्टेज में क्या करना होता है मैं एक थोड़ा सा चीज समझा दूंगा. फर्स्ट डे मैं थोड़ा सा इजी रखूंगा आप लोगों को और थोड़ा परेशानी रहेगी. यू विल सी दिस काइंड ऑफ एरिया, राइट? तो ऊपर में खाली नाम लिखना है. मुझे नहीं पता मैंने क्या एच लिखा वो मुझे नहीं पता. नीचे जहाँ पर होगा वो डेट ऑफ बर्थ लिखा होगा. इफ यू सी साथ में टाइम ऑफ बर्थ है और नीचे प्लेस ऑफ बर्थ है. सिंपल. नीचे मेल फीमेल जो आप लोग सर्च कर लीजिएगा एंड जस्ट ओपन दैट हॉरोस्कोप लाइक दिस. क्लिक इट और चाहे अपने पास रखिएगा. नेक्स्ट क्लास में उसको हम लोग समझेंगे और क्या होता है उसका. कोशिश करेंगे 8-10 हॉरोस्कोप अपने पास, आपको समझ आएगा हाउस और राशि का मतलब.
Okay.
सिंपल, इतना ही सिंपल होगा. नथिंग मोर देन दैट.
Same. Where is the next class?
Thursday to Thursday, ma'am.
Okay.
Every Thursday I'll be there. Any questions? Any other questions?
सर रिकॉर्डिंग या नोट्स कुछ मिलेंगे सर?
नोट्स से मिलेंगे. मैं आपसे लिखवाऊंगा सारी चीजें.
हाँ जी सर,
लिखवाऊंगा सारी चीजें. नोट्स
ठीक है सर,
रिकॉर्डिंग मिलेंगे. मैं क्योंकि बड़ा
रिकॉर्डिंग्स मिलेंगी.
मैंने सोचा था कि वो LMS पे कर दूं. LMS प्रैक्टिकल हो नहीं पाएगा. तो आई एम फेसिंग सम प्रॉब्लम्स. How students know about it. So I'll upload it on YouTube with some. I'll tell you how to do that. कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. आप लोगों को बड़ा इजी रहेगा खोलने के लिए. मैं अलग से कोई ईमेल रेडी कर दूंगा. But try to not please circulate those. That's for you people, right? Correct है? ठीक है जी. Good night. I hope you people enjoyed the first class and it was
very nice.
I tried to simplify it as simple as I could and ऐसे ही मैं थोड़ा सिंपल आप लोगों को समझाता रहूंगा कि हॉरोस्कोप आप लोगों के लिए इजी बन जाए पढ़ने के लिए. ऑलराइट
सर एक क्वेश्चन सर, क्लासेस डेली हैं कि सर
ओनली
वीकेंड्स?
ओनली थर्सडेज.
ओनली थर्सडेज. ठीक है सर,
ये तो मैं कर ही नहीं पाऊंगा सर. मैं कहाँ जाऊंगा.
ठीक है सर, ठीक है सर,
कहाँ पकड़ूंगा.
ठीक है. ठीक है सर, थर्सडे टू थर्सडे, ठीक है सर,
Every Thursday 7:30.
ठीक है सर, ठीक है सर, थैंक यू,
And don't worry about it. It takes 5 classes, 10 classes. My responsibility. I'll
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू सर,
right?
थैंक यू सर,
Good night, guys. Have a
Okay,
great
thank you.
night.
Good night.
गुड नाइट, थैंक यू सर।
Good night.
I'll upload this and I'll share